My name's Aleali May. I'm a stylist, model, and sneaker designer, and you are watching the Lowdown Podcast.
I'm Lauren A. Jones here for another episode of the Lowdown Podcast, and I'm being joined by the illustrious and amazing Aleali May.
Thank you.
Designer, sneakerhead.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about all of her sneaker collection, how she gets to design the different collaborations, and everything more, so stay tuned. So today, let's just start off by, explaining how you got into design.
Yeah, well, I've always been a sneakerhead. I've always loved sneakers. My uncle used to buy me all the Jordans in the world, as well as like a pair for himself. So that's where my love for Jordan started. And I think
what was your first pair, if you can remember?
He told me my first pair was the 7s.
Okay.
And I don't really remember. I was like just born.
Right.
But
so you since birth?
Yeah, since birth, he's been having me super fresh. And then I think the ones that I really started loving was the 12s and the 13s. Mm-hmm. That was like, our run and play, and just, I was just loving the shoe. I don't even know why. It was just like, cool, I have something my uncle has, and I just like really appreciate it. And they're Jordans, and everybody at school has them too. So
I never had them. I was not the cool kid. I was one of those ones that had like Shaqs.
Oh.
No,
Shaq is a great person. First of all, I love Kazam, okay?
Right.
So if
No,
I love
Shaq
Kazam, I love
amazing.
Shaq. Like,
Right.
But yeah, always loved Jordans, and that I think that's what really started like this love with the Jordan brand. So they actually reached out to me and was like, hey, we see you're a fan, you love your Jordan 1s, we just want to send you a care package, like, thank you so much. And I think that was really dope of them to just recognize someone who's really loved the brand and really like lived with Jordans all their life.
Yeah. So to be at this point now, collaborating, having
crazy
a shoe named after you.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that like?
It's unreal. I mean, honestly, I think it's really cool to see other people's take on my shoe. Of course, I created it with a certain vision and a story, but I love when people come in and they incorporate it. And it's just like when you hear someone, when they buy Jordans, they always have like a story to go with that Jordan, like their own story, as well as Michael Jordan's. And I think that's the cool part. Now people can add on to my story with their own.
How would you define your story?
Yeah, my story actually starts with my Jordan 1s. And they're basically satin and corduroy. I got the corduroy because my dad used to buy like the corduroy slippers from the Sloss and Swap meet. So I wanted to incorporate that on the shoe. I'm like, you know what, LA, we have the shadows, which represents like the Kings and the Raiders, but we don't really have something that's just like, this is an LA Jordan 1. So that's really what I wanted to do, something for my city first. And so I based it off of LA Kings and Raiders starter jacket. So that's why we have the satin, and then the corduroy from the house slipper, and the chenille when you think about like high school varsity jackets, and it has like that like carpet color, so we put that on there. We made it very true to LA. I wanted anyone who's even just a fan of like LA. Also, you can wear it in any hood. So
there you go, neutral.
We got you good. But no, really just dedication. And I was the young girl that was living in LA and growing up. Literally Jordans, if you didn't come to school with your uniform and your Jordans or Forces, you're just like, what are you doing? But and yeah, like I just wanted to show like, you can be a young girl from your hood and you can have a Jordan one day, or you can have anything that, naturally you've always loved. And that's something that Jordan has always taught, is like to really say that like you can do anything.
You mentioned two things that I think are interesting. The first is being a female designer.
Yeah.
And being from Los Angeles, a big city. Can you just talk about your roots in LA and how that kind of inspires you?
Yeah, LA has, always inspired me. I mean, from the music to the food to, I'm like, our other like you had in my neighborhood, it was blacks and Mexicans, you know, so we just go so hard for each other.
Yes.
And I think, you know, taking all of this into account, that's really what created my shoe, is the foundation of LA, and you know, what is that, and how strong we are, and how we rep our hood like super hard.
Then piggybacking off of that, just any pieces of advice to young women who are interested in getting into this game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think, you know, just don't stop. You know, really, I had no idea that I would ever, you know, accomplish something like this. And I think it's just like, when you have that idea, just stick to it, and, you know, see what steps can I take that's gonna hopefully lead me in this direction.
Was there any
definitely
trust your
gut? Trust your gut.
Yes.
Trust your gut. My turning point was moving to Chicago. So I was going to school in Colorado. My dad was in the Army. I was going to high school, and then Chicago. I was like, I want to go to Chicago for college. My mom's like, why? She's an LA girl. She's like, well, why do you want to go to the cold? And I'm just like, you know, I'll let you know when I get there. I'll go to school. And me working at a place called RSVP Gallery, where Dauncey and Virgil own.
Wow.
So I was working there, and, you know, I loved how everything in the culture that was moving before you knew about like crazy sneaker lines and all of these things. Like, it kind of all started from like these places, like these small boutique shops that incorporated streetwear and high end, and it showed the kid from the hood that they could have the Goyard trunk with the, you know, Jordans and the Louis Vuitton and all of it together. So
the access.
Yeah, that I think that was like really just everyday inspiration for me to be around these type of people. And, you know, they were never like, you're a woman, you can't do it. It was more about the youth. Like, how can we uplift the youth, whether you're a male or female? So I think having a solid foundation is very important.
Absolutely. You mentioned some of your inspirations, but who would you say are your top 4 designers, or top 3 designers?
Top 3 designers. Woo-wee. I would probably say Nikolai from Louis Vuitton. I love like the way that he does the women's wear, because if you look at it, it's very universal. It's women's, but it still goes hard, you know? And I love like how it just has feminine, masculine, and you can do both.
Yes.
I also love Virgil Abloh, obviously, the homie. I'm not, you know.
Homie, humble brag here.
No. You know, I'm not trying to, you know, favor anybody, but, you know, for, you know, incorporating streetwear and high end, I think he's definitely the face of it. And he's doing a really good job, like, representing a lot of us, you know, people of color. And, top 4. I mean, I love Rick Owens. You know, he's always just been true to his DNA. He's just like, I just like this, and that's it. And I love people like that.
Yes.
You know, you're just like,
unapologetically them.
Yes, love that. And, you know, honestly, I would probably say the people at Supreme, man, because I mean,
kill it.
That's really just like this crossbreed of like, what is streetwear, what is high end, what is the value of things. I really try to like incorporate that streetwear is a luxury, and you know, they have always been like at the forefront of creating that. Yeah.
So you've done pretty much what I would consider a bucket list, collaborating with Nike and Jordan, these major brands, but what would you like be the ideal, like the pinnacle of making it? Like,
man, I mean, something with Chanel or Louis Vuitton, you know, look, I could dream big, right? I accomplished something that I've never thought I could accomplish. And, you know,
at
with
such a
that,
young age
with that, you know, we've had, you know, 2 hits, you know what I mean? 2 albums.
Bangers.
And,
bangers.
You know, so, I mean, I guess at this point it's like, how big can you dream? And hey, if it happens, got it on camera right here.
Absolutely. First heard it on the lowdown.
Yeah.
So give me the lowdown on the newest collab, your sophomore shoe.
Yes. So this one it's very opposite from my first Jordan 1. You know, the first Jordan 1 kind of blends in very subtle hints of details. This one is very loud, has a removable fur tongue.
I love the fur.
Yeah. So it really, I mean, for me, the first one was like Aleali growing up in South Central Los Angeles. The second one was like Aleali trying to find who she was at the time growing up, what is my style? Who am I, drawing inspiration from? And at the same time, it was very colorful, like I was into colors and just really playing off of the skateboard, Nike's Dunks, which were classic. And
I did have some Dunks. I can't say that. I had some Dunks.
So that's what I mean. It's like, this whole millennial generation, and just we're all like kind of taken from so many things, whether it's like, oh, I like this one punk rock band, but I don't listen to any type of other music from that area. So it's like all these influences in one, and I really just wanted to, pay homage to like women. Nike had a Biotech, back in the day that released in Japan, which was super fire, a little slept on, but I kind of wanted to like give that for women. So I took like those colorways, kind of like remix it a little bit, and Maya Moore. So she's an amazing basketball player, one of the best, at the top of her game, and she's so sweet and humble. And me and her did this collab together. So she has the Jordan 10, which
what was it like to collab with her?
Listen, first of all, I'm like, thank you so much. I have a collab with two GOATs,
right?
Two Jordans.
Thanks.
So I'm just happy to be in the room. But no, honestly, it was really amazing because the way that we just met, it naturally just happened.
Clicked.
And we were just like, yo, like, should we do something?
It's a vibe.
Like,
I'm feeling the vibe.
So,
like we got this podcast going, pretty much. It's a vibe.
And yeah, it was just super natural, and it like we both got to do our favorite silhouettes, and she got to put her favorite jersey colors on hers, as well as her favorite Bible scripture and like her name, and then the same thing with mine. So it was very unique, but they definitely complemented each other, and it's also the first women's pack for Jordan Brand.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that's
remarkable. Super sick.
Like,
I'm like, cool.
What
like,
more
we
is there left to do? It's time to pack up. Like, we're done here. But I also want to ask you just about, so your process, right? I feel like even athletes, they have their warm-up songs that they get hyped to. What is your process like? And if there could be a soundtrack to your process, like who would you say would be the artist of that soundtrack?
Yeah, my soundtrack definitely is a Jay-Z song. Probably Public Service Announcement by Jay-Z. I think it's really just like about like, look, coming in, claiming what's you, like not claiming something else, like being 100% you, and just saying like, I'm gonna take no for an answer, and I'm gonna keep pushing,
Absolutely.
And even with the no's, you could get a million. They tell you, especially if you're like modeling, they're like, you're gonna get a million no's until you get that one yes, and that one yes is gonna be exactly. So just it's like, don't quit, and like I'm here to stay, and love that song, and my whole process ideally is just to really be grounded, stay around family, great friends, have a great foundation, and pray up.
Bless up.
Pray
oh
up,
God,
pray
okay.
Up.
Antonio Brown. Sunday we got in the background in the audience today. But I also just want to talk to you briefly about, being a female in this industry can come with its challenges. What would you say has presented the biggest challenge, and how have you overcome that?
Yeah, like I said, I did have a lot of, I grew up, I'm a daddy's girl, and, my uncle is his brother, which I'm super close with, bought me on my Jordan. So I will say that, I've definitely been supported by a lot of strong men, and even in the work field. So I'm definitely very blessed. Even with Jordan Brand, they're always very loving and, very like, what do you need, baby girl?
Baby girl.
I'm like, oh, y'all my uncle, for sure. Shout out all my uncles at Jordan Brand.
Shout out.
And I think really it's just, trying to represent like every woman out there who potentially wears sneakers. I think that's the hardest part, because you're just like, look, if this is going to be my last one, how we going to go out? Because I guess it's like creating for now, trying to figure out, something that's going to be classic.
Yes.
And
timeless.
Yes. How we come back and we still buying the retro Jordans. And, also representing just like the ladies out there, and you know, we want something that's for us, by us, but still relatable, and still want men
to want it as well. Absolutely. So that is a dynamic that's hard to accomplish.
I think it's like mentally a challenging thing, you know, for sure, to make sure you got the whole, you know, everybody represented. But I think, you know, with everyone's story, and like I said, buying the Jordans and then creating your own story with it, I just think it works so well.
Absolutely. So I also want to briefly talk about, okay, I'm from LA, you're from LA. Yeah. What are some of your favorite restaurants to go to in LA? Taco trucks, if you, because we talked about it.
Yes.
So what are some of your maybe top 3?
I love John and Vinny's. It's a nice little Italian restaurant on Fairfax. They got great breakfast too.
Can we have a date?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love John and Vinny's for like their pastas and stuff, and you know, my granny cooks amazing gumbo. I mean, honestly,
so we going to Granny's house after we hit.
Listen. I've had field trips to my granny's house, and she's cooked for my friends.
What's her name? I'm like, is she legendary?
Granny Sharon, let's get it. But yeah, I mean, when I'm home, you know, I love to like cook and like bake with my friends. Okay. And you know, obviously,
favorite dish to cook?
Enchiladas with rice and beans, and you know, I think that is like my Mexican homies really coming in with the influence right there. But also like LA, we're known for tacos. We're also known, I mean, I'm half Filipino too, so my mom cooks amazing Filipino food. I think when I'm home, I try to eat, because I travel a lot, I just try to eat as much like home cooked meals as possible.
What have you learned from your travels?
Man, you know, honestly, my travels bring me a lot of inspiration. So, you know, when you see shoes with a lot of color, that's not only, you know, just the spectrum of like us becoming equal, but also just all my, you know, things that I'm taking.
Snaps on that? Like, what?
Everything that, everything, you know, that I'm like incorporating and I'm taking in. I love to just, you know, just go and explore the city. And, you know, if I'm in North Carolina and, you know, baby blue has influenced me to put it on a shoe, like I'm gonna go and do that. So I think traveling, you know, you come back home and you're just, I feel always more humbled. I always feel like, wow, like I just came from a trip. That was amazing. I've never been there before. And also you're like, okay, what else does the world have to offer? And I think you really just set your goals like at a much larger scale too. Because you're like,
you have no choice.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you know, and meeting new people. I mean, you're just taking in so much like knowledge. So it's really good.
We're here for All-Star.
Yes, we are.
And a little bit earlier, we shared what own the game means. So just for our viewers, I kind of want to retouch that because you mentioned something in your spiel that really stuck out to me. You said, especially for women, there's two types of women. There could be the women that always wear sneakers or the women who wear heels most of the time and they might want to throw on a pair. And I'm the latter. So just speaking about how you represent owning the game.
I mean, growing up, you know, I always had a hard time kind of fitting in. I was like super skinny. I mean, it's not like it changed, but you know, I see
the slim thick with the illusion at least, girl.
Listen, you know, that's why we wear baggy pants.
Aaliyah taught us, right?
That is my mom.
Yes.
You know, I was really like, I'm just trying to find a girl that looks like me and that represents me. And who is that? And it was Aaliyah, it was Alicia Keys. It was like these strong women who had like this masculine but feminine, sexy vibe to them. And, you know, through that, I felt like I learned like, okay, it's about having confidence. You know, I could pull off anything with confidence. And, you know, really owning the game is finding out like your true self. And, you know, other women will see themselves in you. And I think that's really the most important part, is just to have self-confidence and, you know who you are. And you may not even know all these answers to these questions, but I think, you know, trying to take the action to discover that is really just like the best thing that you can do for yourself and also your environment too, because there's this quote, it's like when you change, your environment changes.
I think that sums up this. I mean, just the travel, the experience, your journey. I want to close out by asking you a few rapid fire
No,
it's honestly, I'm gonna do this on the fly. So
Yeah,
we're gonna
for
just
sure.
vibe with me. It might not
All
even
right,
be
all right.
rapid. It might be a little slow.
All right,
But,
cool.
Okay. So if you LA or New York?
LA.
Like, you got a LA viewership over here. You got the right answer.
One time for the hood, you know what I mean?
Nipsey or Kendrick?
Ooh.
I did that. Mm-hmm.
How about
In between, like
Nipsey, Kendrick, and YG?
Oh,
There we go.
that's not really how this works, but that's fine. Okay, we're gonna go because we have our
Yes.
We had wine supplied to us.
Yes,
by, Trainer Heather. Shout out Trainer Heather.
Yes, in celebration.
Right,
in celebration
Wait,
for
can we have a
All-Star
wine break?
Weekend.
We need to cheers this up because I think this
Cheers
interview
to
was...
All-Star Weekend. Cheers to women.
Yes,
in,
cheers to Nike.
Nike,
Shout
Jordan.
out.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
Jordan.
Thank
All right,
you.
let's have a little... Okay, I need that. So back to the rapid fire. Basketball or football?
Basketball.
Ball is life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's share it right
Jordan.
there, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Ooh. Okay. We're gonna do some seasons. Fall or spring?
Fall, because the jackets. You can really flex up with the jackets. You know what
that's
I mean?
what real style is. When you can pull off a jacket moment.
Look, you can have the most basic outfit, but you can have the craziest jacket and sneakers or heels, and you just be straight.
Yes. Tacos or fried chicken?
Fried chicken.
Oh, okay. See, I'm team tacos.
Oh.
Yes.
That's
hot
that
take.
valley life.
No, look, Campbell Hall don't have you fooled, okay? I'm still
I'm
Levert
sorry.
Park.
Right. Oh, there you
Yeah,
go,
I'm
there you go.
still Levert Park.
Okay.
Do we have any questions from the audience?
Yes.
Wait, hold on. Let's get a mic out there.
Chucks or Cortez? I'm sorry. Chucks or Cortez?
I would personally like to say Chucks. Cortez's I didn't really wear growing up as a kid. It was I mean
Chucks for sure. That's classic.
Yeah.
Air Forces or Jordan 1s?
Jordan 1s. That's my favorite.
Okay,
you
well,
know.
we're gonna feed it to you. Like,
Yeah.
The question was because we don't have a mic back there. No, you can't be the mic. I'm gonna be the mic. We're just gonna pass this around to the audience at this point. Okay.
There you go.
In-N-Out or Shake Shack?
Ooh, hot one.
Okay.
In-N-Out or Shake Shack?
Okay, first of all, I'm always having this fight. Okay, Shake Shack is trash.
I
Okay?
agree.
Here's the thing: I can make a burger like that at home, but you can't get an In-N-Out burger at
You can't.
home. Like
Animal
you can't.
style? I don't think so.
And
That sauce?
and we got
Come
a
on.
secret menu. Like
Okay, what's your favorite off the secret menu? Because
I like the animal fries, and then there's this thing that like you can put animal fries on top of the burger. I've never tried it, but I'm interested.
my life just changed. Did you just see that in this moment? My life
I'm
just changed.
interested in trying that.
Okay, well, when I get back, In-N-Out might be the first step out the
Right.
LAX. Okay, it is.
It literally.
It is.
Yeah.
It's right there. Okay, what else? What else can we give her? Okay,
Oh, you know you drink, so.
Lakers or Clippers?
Ooh.
Lakers.
Rams or
Lakers,
Chargers?
girl.
Okay, Lakers. Go Lakers. Team Bron.
You know,
Okay.
well, before Bron's Kobe.
Thank you.
No,
Say that.
say it again for the people in the back.
We have Kobe and Derek Fisher and Shaq
The
and
era.
I mean, thank
I'm going
you.
back to Magic. I mean,
Thank you, Mom, for getting me out of school early back in the day for the Laker parade.
Yes.
Hopefully,
Classic
we can have that again.
yeah, sooner than later.
I think we're starting to transform.
I think so
for
too.
sure.
Well,
I mean, Bron did
Besides
that
that-
for a reason.
yeah, I'm not gonna go into the negatives.
You know.
I cover the team, so I'm like I could really go into, but I'm like, yes, we
yeah.
are in a positive. We have LeBron James.
Definitely,
so.
we have LeBron James, and
We
we
have
got
a
more
young
money
core.
before we hit the cap. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So we gonna
Talk
be
a
out
little
here.
hoops real quick.
Thank you for tuning in to ESPN.
Actually, it's the
Sports
lowdown, right?
Sports Lowdown.
The lowdown at 5. Okay.
The lowdown collab.
Yes. All right. So I just want to thank you for being
Thank
on the
you.
show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for
This
having me.
podcast was amazing.
Thank you.
You're beautiful, amazing.
Oh my gosh,
Tell the
vice versa.
people where they can find you.
Yes, you can find me on Instagram at alealimay.com. ALEALIMAY.
Yes. and get her shoes, y'all, because they fire. I mean, they might be sold out, but they sold out.
They sold out, but you know, you can get stock, you know, StockX or something, you know.